Hello, everyone, and welcome to this audio podcast. This audio podcast as part of a Labostix article. This audio podcast is part of a Helm and raid. This audio podcast is part of a Mayhem Trooper, and this audio podcast is part of a Storm Labostix production. This audio podcast, is part of this series, as part of this series in part of the series in relating to peer review and published works from 2015. Some discussion in around this works. So in this research, as the investigating team and the investigators identified, depending on the situation, young people with chronic kidney disease or CKD were able to apply some relevant coping strategies ranging from problem focused and emotion focused coping to more passive strategies such as avoidant focused or style strategies. So the participants or the subjects in this group, as in the healthy cohort, adaptive anticipation, developing a resilience and communication as counteractive approaches where possible. In many cases, there was evidence of steps being taken to enhance coping through physical activity, relaxation, and pastimes. And physical activity was a positive was a positive coping strategy to relieve stress and anxiety, and potentially helps to enhance control of challenging issues. Being involved in physical activity can also can also can also be a positive relaxation strategy for young people, and this also enabled some to cope. Young people in sort of negative environs may be left feeling resentment or sort of trapped. Resilience created by physical activity can also be powerful in coping. Um, Data here only describes some of the insights from parents and guardians, and the data collected from youth club workers, healthcare professionals had not been sort of collected or included. The results indicated harmony between comments made by participants and parents and guardians, and data from the healthy cohort revealed that young people in times of challenge found attending the youth club positive and a place where they could go to help relieve any particular stresses. It became apparent that emotion based coping and physical or active based coping are used by healthy young people, and these forms of coping have been described in works going back to the mid to the mid 1980s and late 1980s. Under the decision making theme, the results indicated a good support system is likely to help young people cope with specific challenges and preclude stress triggers. A sort of a buddy or mentoring system whereby young people in chronic kidney disease and stages 4 and 5 can can communicate can help can help prompt communication with CKD peers, or should prompt communication with CKD peers or mentors who have been in similar circumstances, and where the authors in this peer reviewed and published works inform that that could be of some advantage. Where coping can be difficult or challenged there, and where coping can be difficult or challenged there, perhaps needs to be more communication pathway set up for young people with CKD, and this would be consistent with research by authors and investigators in works from 2012 in 2012. Some young people had a variety of coping strategies, perhaps just because of the time in being a long term CKD patient, whilst others require more support, and this is consistent with research more retrospectively from authors and a team 2000 authors in works in 2004 uh, on the stress theme, in around the stress theme. The experiences of the two cohorts were not clearly distinguishable. There were common triggers, experiences of frustration and lack of ability to express feelings. In view of the data collected, it appears that getting involved in activities and talking about issues and concerns are forms of positive coping, which can apply equally to CKD sufferers as to the healthy cohorts, as to the healthy young people, or as to the healthy young as to the young healthy cohort. This is consistent with works by again a team sort of looked at coping sort of more retrospectively, again in around 2004 and in around 2004, and a team by a team from in 2008 and 2010. That draws this audio podcast to a close. This audio podcast as part of a Labostix article, this audio podcast as part of a Helm raid, and this audio podcast as part of a Mayhem Trooper, and this audio podcast as part of a Storm Labostix production.